What's up, guys? Welcome to the Q&A. We're about to get started on this deal. By the way, Kevin has some news for you guys.
Very exciting day today. Cobb has released the access port for the 2017 WRX. It's finally out. So now that means that I can finally tune my car and put some performance mods on it and get the power up. So that's gonna be awesome. So just expect a lot of that to be happening in the near future. So once again, we just want to thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. That's why we're doing this whole Q&A. And it's just a chance for us to kind of connect with you guys on a little bit of a different level than we have in the past. All right, well, this is obviously the first comment I see. Let's just get this out of the way. So I'll ask you this one. This one's coming from Failworks, and he's asking, how many crowds have you hit with the Mustang?
I'm happy to say that I have hit a total of 0 crowds.
That's good.
But, I mean, I've come close. And it's hard. You gotta resist the urge. I mean, there's just something about driving a Mustang where all of a sudden that wheel starts turning towards the crowd. And I don't know, man. You gotta resist it. Mustang drivers out there giving us a bad name. So the next question comes from Danielle. He asks, are you going to stance the STI?
First of all, I don't have an STI, but this is a comment on the video with the STI Shifter, so I can understand. I have a love-hate relationship with stance. I like it to the point where it's functional. If it's not functional,
For your drivability,
if it's gonna affect the performance of your car in a negative way, then I am not gonna do it. But I understand that stancing your wheels a little bit helps. Loftier Ant says, what were your first cars and what do you do for a living? So my first car was a 1992, I think, Ford Explorer. I had that car for about 2 years, and then I got into an accident, and it was my fault. But I was making a left turn, and I turned in front of somebody, and I rolled it, and it was technically totaled, but I drove it for another year after that with like duct tape.
My first car was a 1991 Ford Ranger. I picked it up for 800 bucks, and it was brown, and it had like a hole in it because it used to be like a mobile dog kennel. We fixed it up, kind of, and that car got me through high school.
They actually did a really good restoration on that car. I remember that.
Yeah.
I never saw it beforehand, but it was pretty nice after you guys were finished. So as far as like what we do for a living, we're not going to go into specifics, but all we're going to say right now anyways is that we have full-time jobs, both of us. We work pretty much all day every day during the week, and so that's why it's kind of hard for us to do multiple uploads a week right now, just because we are working so much, but you know, that may change.
Alpha Radeon HD asks, what camera do you guys use? And any advice for a smaller channel getting into car videos?
So as far as what camera we use, right now we use a Canon 5D Mark III as like our main camera, but if you're gonna do vlogging style videos, the Canon 5D is definitely, I would not recommend it because it's really heavy and it doesn't have a flip out screen, and it also doesn't have live autofocus when you're recording. Invest in something like the Canon 80D. That's a really good one because it has live autofocus, it has a flip out screen, and it's lighter. But we use a 5D, that's just because of what we have.
And then as far as any advice for a smaller channel, I still consider us a small channel.
I was gonna say that.
But if you're trying to start a channel of your own, I mean, we're basically just taking inspiration from a lot of the people that we watch, whether it be other car channels, and also just other like film cinematography channels as well. As we post more videos, at least our hope is that with every video we post, the quality and our production quality is going to get better and better until the point where, you know, we're awesome.
Yeah. And I would say another thing to note is don't copy, like don't blatantly copy other people. That's one of the biggest things. It's find what your style is and run with that and commit to that. And don't be afraid to be different than other people, because a lot of times it's the different people that stick out the most and get the most popular. So you know, we have like we have our inspirations, and we have, you know, ways that like oh, that's a good idea. You can take inspiration from other people, but
try to make that your own.
yeah, make it your own, and do it because you enjoy doing it. MDeanG08 says or asks, who would win in a race backwards, the Mustang or the WRX? I have no idea.
I don't either.
But
comment down below if you'd like to see us try this.
I feel like your car would win just because it's got more power. Like
my car is a little bit more torque, but
yeah,
I think it would all depend on how long the reverse gear ratio is on each of our cars.
maybe that would be a good one.
Richard Pointer III asks, where do you guys typically buy aftermarket parts? More towards the WRX, because I have a 2017 WRX.
All the parts that I bought so far, well, with the exception of like one or two, have been off of subispeed.com. They're generally right now the best place to get parts for Subaru, like the BRZ. Like they even do Forester, and then also the WRX. They just have, so far they have the best quality products featured, as well as the most products on their site. Because the access port is coming out, I am going to be ordering things from Cobb directly. So yeah, so it really just depends on what I'm getting.
Most of my parts come from American Muscle, and then the other two websites are CJ Pony Parts and Late Model Restoration. Those are like my go-to for everything Mustang.
Roy Coulter asks, two questions. Why are you guys only at 1K? And two, who does the edits? Talking about like camera work, and then our outro. Yeah, just basically about like our editing, because a lot of you guys have commented on the quality of our videos, and we really appreciate that. As far as why we're only at 1K, we only started a few months ago. So,
but that is a good question. Why are we only at 1K?
I mean, we're not like begging for subscribers. We're just having fun with stuff. But I'd say 1K is a pretty good milestone. Camera work and editing. To be honest, we both do, I'd say, right now anyways, we both do a pretty equal amount of camera work. As of right now, I've been doing the majority of the editing just because of the equipment that I have at home. And also because I come from an editing background. The thing is like, Jordan comes from a very strong car background, and I've come from a primarily editing focused background, so our skills complement each other pretty well, I think, for making these types of videos.
Charles Cab is asking, is that STI Shifter a worthwhile mod?
I would say it's definitely worthwhile, but it's not, don't expect it to be this crazy difference where you just have like the shortest throw ever. It's not the best short throw shifter out there. It is OEM, it is STI quality, but there are really good ones on the market. It's made drivability a lot better than the standard shifter, is what I'll say. It's crisper, it's just easier. A lot of you guys may not know this who are newer to the channel. I used to own this same exact car, but it was the CVT, and I had that for about 6 months, I think, and I traded it in for the 6-speed manual. So I'm not going to talk too much about that because I do have the video that's kind of explaining that whole decision, so just go back in our videos and look for that. Motivation to Win is asking, basically, why did I trade it in the CVT for the manual, and do I regret it at all? First of all, no, I don't regret that decision at all. Obviously everybody's different and everybody's situation is different. For what I wanted to do to my car, it was necessary to make the switch because the CVT can't handle as much power as the manual can, as far as putting mods on and stuff like that, just because of the way that the transmission works. I have to deal with traffic, and that kind of sucks, and I do wish sometimes that I wasn't having to deal with the stick shift. But any other time, I definitely enjoy having the But any other time, I definitely enjoy having the manual instead of the CVT. This person mentioned in the comment that the manual is not any faster than the CVT. I would say that is true, but they both deliver the power very differently. So if you want to downshift and you want to lay on the power, you can. And you can do that with the CVT too, but it's still doing it on its own time. Even if you have it in Sport Shark mode, it's still going to be giving you power. Like, it's not going to be transferring the power as hard. The pulls in this and in the manual are so much more aggressive than the pulls in the CVT. And yes, they do ultimately have the same amount of power, but they're just they're delivered in very different ways, and I would say the manual feels much more aggressive in that aspect. So
Florin Cole's Nice NCO or Colasincenso.
Cole is a nice company. Cole is nice and company.
Cole is nice and company. I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
Yeah, that's probably completely wrong.
But he asked, or they asked, he or she, and or, if you could choose a car with which to drive your entire life, what car would it be and why?
I mean, I guess it's implied that you could only drive that car.
I mean, if I could have that car my entire life, I would probably choose a GT350. It sounds good, and it has like 2 modes, so when I want to be sensible and quiet, I can just leave it in stock. And when I want to have those fun weekend drives, I can just hit that loud button and go hard.
You could hit people with it too.
I also like hit a lot of people with it. That's the one good thing. No one will bat an eye. They'll just be like, it's a Mustang. It's what they do.
It's just what happens.
He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's honestly the people's fault when they get hit by a Mustang, because they should.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is. Once you see a Mustang coming around the corner, it's just like, get out the way, or you're asking for it, dude.
Off the top of my head, I feel like this is such an overused answer, and it sucks that like so many people. I feel like if you are successful on YouTube, you automatically go for this car, and I hate that, but like it's such a good car just all around. But the GTR, and they actually just announced the 2017 GTR recently, which is pretty awesome. But if I could own any car, I'd have to say, as of right now, the GTR, just because it's all-wheel drive. It literally beats almost anything else on the road. Like, it's crazy, and it's pretty functional. Are you gonna get new wheels for the WRX? Yes, I will get aftermarket wheels for the WRX, and you will see an installation when that happens. Hopefully not too much longer. What is some good advice for someone who is just starting to mod their car and is beginner and doesn't have that much knowledge in installing mods? To be honest, like, just look up videos, because that's where we started. I mean, like, that's pretty much like what we do. Is if we are installing a mod, we do the research, we look at what it's gonna take, how much time it's gonna take, what we're gonna need for that install. Online is like the best way to do it. Just look it up, and literally the best thing to do. Sean Gogardi is asking, are you going to get a spoiler on the WRX? I honestly don't know if it's, if this becomes a track car, then I'd say yes, and if it's really functional, but I'm not gonna get one unless it's truly like gonna be increasing my performance and like really functional.
But what about a lip?
A lip I would consider, just as a daily driver, putting a lip on it. I like the way those look. Have to be the right one. Nick Rick 904, thanks for following us on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, if you guys aren't following us on Instagram, it's right there on the screen. Just
like
go on
right
Instagram. It's
here.
I know we haven't been posting a whole lot on there, but follow us on Instagram. That would be awesome.
Yeah, if you guys still have more questions, you can continue to ask them. We might be able to answer them either through replying to them or answering them in future videos. And yeah, stay tuned for more. We're gonna have some good content for you guys out there.
We'll see you guys very soon with another video. We're gonna be unwrapping another video very soon. So we will catch you guys in the next one.
Dirt nasty look. Yeah.
It's a wrap. This is a wrap. Wrapping up this video right now. Gonna be unwrapping the next video pretty soon.
Or are we gonna wrap the next video?
We're not gonna be wrapping. We're gonna, well.